Thank you for joining the August 20th, 2019 VOLTA call. Just a reminder to everyone that the VOLTA meetings are public and recorded, and we do post them to YouTube after the meetings. So please keep that in mind during the discussions today and if we have any presentations as well. So first on the agenda today, we have just a few new JIRAs that have opened up since we reviewed the previous ones on Thursday. So just a few this time. And then the main topic of discussion today, we have some time set aside for Bjorn to go over Mac learning and VLAN translation. And then we'll follow that up with a little time on status. My mouse has stopped. Okay, there we go. I lost control of the screen for a minute. Status updates on Sprint 5. Just a reminder to everyone that the sprint is targeted to complete on this Friday. And then related to that, if you have specific topics that you want to go over that are in flight for Sprint 5, please bring them up during this section of the call so that we can address those individually. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the new JIRAs. So starting with 1859. This was a new defect opened by Andy, VOLTA 1859, read-write core dropping packet in. And it looks like he's assigned it to himself as well.
So the assignee shouldn't be me, actually. I think this problem may have been fixed already by Karthik. The issue that we saw was that the system would sometimes get into a state where every other packet in coming from the device would get dropped in the core. And I think that Karthik diagnosed the problem as there were two packet in listeners getting started, and the packets would be round robin between them, but only one was seen as a valid listener, and so the other one would get dropped. I'm not sure if that's a good summary of the problem, but that was kind of my high-level understanding. But I think that a patch has been merged to fix this problem.
Yeah, it looks like that one has been merged. So I think we'd make the assignee Karthik. This is 1859, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's actually a patch that already merged against it.
Have I pulled the right one in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that looks like it can also be closed.
Do we close it, or do you need any other verification before we close it?
I think it's been pre-verified at this point.
Okay. So I don't need to put an assignee then, basically, is what I'm asking.
Well, I mean, let him
well,
get credit.
I think, yeah.
Skill, right? But
yeah,
I mean, it's done. It's tested.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion on this first item today? All right, next is VOL 1860, explore other storage solutions for ONU MIB entries. This is related to some discussion we had last week. And it looks like that has been assigned to William to investigate that.
Yeah, I'm beginning to work on that today. I'll set it in progress when I start.
Great. Okay, thank you. And then next we've got VOL 1861, OF agent restart causes loss of connectivity to the read-write core. And we have the steps to reproduce here or in the description. Any questions or comments from the group? Okay, and this one's currently assigned to Karthik. Next, we've got 1862. Read-write core must wait until its dependent components are up. And Ken had indicated to me he's not able to be on the call today, but he does have something that he has in the works for this item, so it does show as in progress as well. So he's testing something for this. Are there any questions that we need to take back to Ken on this item? All right, then we'll move on to the next 1863, testing impact of scaling ONU count on VOLTHA adapter components. And William, it looks like you had opened up this issue. And I do see something in Garrett as well.
Yeah, I didn't mark it in progress yet. I can do that. But basically, I'm just doing some exploration work with the ONU and how it scales. And as part of that, I'm finding some other issues with the components that I can pin fixes for. So it's mainly meant to document those changes.
Any questions from the group? Okay, let me refresh, see if anything else has come in. And that looks like it for the new issues today. Then our next topic, let me make sure. Bjorn, are you on the bridge? Yes.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Next topic is on Mac Learning and VLAN translation. And Bjorn, do you have anything you want to present or?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to to show 2 or 3 drawings to illustrate what I'm talking about.
Let me give you presentation rights.
Can you see anything?
We do see your screen, yes.
Okay. So with what we would like to start? Probably with the let's start with the Mac Learning thing. So the reason behind that need for Mac Learning functionality is our FTDB use case. Where we have, okay, I didn't draw that picture exactly for that call. So that's a German one from one of the architecture documents. I just take this to illustrate why we need it and where we need it. So, and that's also related to our legacy platform, but in terms of the access node and the DPU, everything is still valid because one of our generic principles is to use the same DPU in our legacy platform as, or in our Access 4.0 platform as we are using in our legacy platform. So therefore, as you can see on the left-hand side, we have a DPU which has a management instance, which will be talking at the end with a DPU controller, which might be in the first issue or in the first MVP point of view, the DPU controller from the DPU vendor. But later on, of course, that can be substituted by a generic DPU controller. And this management instance is running in a particular VLAN. Here it is mentioned as a VLAN 4, but that's still in discussion, and probably you will see other documents, maybe also later in that talk, where the VLAN ID is mentioned with 4090, but don't care about the number. So there's a management instance which is talking in a particular VLAN. And this is the same for exactly all the DPUs connected to the OLT. And then we have on the OLT, on the access node, that's the same for other access nodes, but here it is mentioned for the OLT. We have to create a called vBridge for that particular VLAN ID, where all these management traffic flows are bundled and sent upstream towards whatever, BNG or a compute node where the controller is running, whatever. So, but that leads us to the need for a Mac learning instance here on the OLT in the legacy platform. And now I will show you how we would like to realize it in our Access 4.0. That's that one. Probably it's a little bit small. I can try to make it a bit bigger. Is that good enough? Hopefully. So let's go here so that we can better see what we have. So we have here the honors, the VOLTHA, and the OLT. And we don't want to realize the Mac learning functionality exactly on the white box OLT. That's not our intention. The idea is to send from the honors the trap command to trap out packets with that VLAN ID 4090. Forget about the 12 here. That's the second bridge, but that works exactly in the same way as the 4090. And that leads to the point that the OLT, if it receives the DHCP discover from the DPU in that particular VLAN, this packet will be trapped out and sent not to the data plane. It will be sent to the control plane, to VOLTHA, and from VOLTHA to honors. And then honors learns the MAC address for that VLAN, and honors already knows from which ONT ID or DPU ID it comes from, and then it removes the traps and sends a particular flow rule for that MAC address, if it is in the source, in upstream, or in the destination MAC address and downstream, to forward it exactly in the right way through the fabric to our compute platform. So that's on one hand why we need a Mac learning functionality in our POD, and on the second hand, that's how we would like to realize it. So that's what I have to say regarding the Mac learning. And then we have the second the point was regarding the translation. Let me check if I open up the right document so far. Yeah, probably here we will find the right picture. That's FTTH. FTTH use case, everything is clear so far. That's our FTTB case. I already presented a similar slide, but I can do it again, and I can use it again for what I have to say here. So in our initial, and that's still not finalized in DT. We are still in architecture discussion how to handle the DPUs and the STEC in terms of FTTB. And currently we have two options on the table. One is that the traffic or the tags, the VLAN tags, which will be set it up by the DPU and coming from the customer, are the final ones, and the OLT and also the leaf switch up to our service edge functionality. Everything is fully transparent in terms of layer 2 traffic. So that means no one touches the VLAN tags anymore. That's one option, but there's another option. In that case, you have to assign the final relevant STAG value to each DPU port during the DPU bring up process. Another option is to set up all the DPUs in the same way with some kind of generic VLAN ID for each of the G.fast ports, so which is represented here by XYZ. So that could a generic one and could repeat it on the next DPU with the exactly same values. But in that case, to have to have on that side between OLT and leaf for ABC accountable values which are different or which are unique on that point in the network, then you have to translate on the OLT side the value X from DPU 1 into the final A value, and you have to translate. Sorry about these XYZ coming from the customer. I'm talking about these ABC here. These ABC here are the generic ones, and you have to translate it into, let me say, A asterisk, B asterisk, C asterisk, or something like that, or that are completely different ones, which are relevant in the platform in our fabric for the switching of the traffic. So, and in that case, you need a translation of the S-tag coming out of the DPU on the OLT. And now going back to the workflow document. So that means from our the VAP is a subcomponent of our NEM construct. So and there we will get from higher layer management components, we will get the correct VLAN VLAN IDs. We call it ANP tags from the higher layer management for each of the subscribers, and then the VAP, and at the end the ONOS and VOLTHA are provisioning flow rules to the access node, which realizing these replacement of the outer tag coming from the DPU to the OLT, according to the ONO ID and the generic VLAN ID, which represents the port at the ONO ID. So that are mainly the reasons behind these S-tag translation on the access node, and the Mac learning functionality inside the POD, which I'm trying to, or I tried to illustrate that a little bit here, but that will be, of course, part of our workflow document, where we are pretty close to contribute that. So we finalized recently some internal discussions, not all, as I mentioned. So especially for the S-tag translation, we definitely were not able to finalize the discussion about the final architecture. But we made a very good progress in terms of the access nodes and all these related components for our workflow. And we have it in an internal format already. And in the upcoming days, I will merge it to the ONF or to the community format, and then we will contribute it. And then, of course, I will present it again and present again the special things of that that will lead to a repeating of these translation and Mac learning functionality in a CIBA or /and in a VOLTHA context. So, but for the moment, so far, that's all I have to illustrate what I'm saying, and hopefully that was a little bit understandable. Feel free to ask questions or to give comments on that, and otherwise we can talk about that in 2 weeks or roughly in 2 weeks when we are at that point in time when we are presenting our entire workflow.
Thanks, Bjorn. We did have a question coming from Zach on the bridge over the chat.
Yeah, I opened that already.
Yeah, I'm wondering, in the Mac learning, is that persisted in ONOS, or I guess I'm trying to figure out how that works. And how that would,
good point.
what would happen if ONOS restarted?
That's a good point. In general, it doesn't have to be persistent, because the flow rule handling these what to do with that MAC address is pushed down, and as long as the flow rule is active on the access node forwards the packet on the right way to the right destination in up and downstream. So no issue for that. But if the DPU will be replaced, and then if a new DHCP discover process coming from a DPU, anyway, if it is a new one or if it is a rebooted old one, the process will run again.
Okay, and this relies on the DHCP discover being retried? Yes,
because that's the initial packet from the DPU in that particular VLAN to start the connectivity with the DPU controller.
Okay, thanks, Bjorn.
Okay.
Other questions?
Yes. Hi, Bjorn. This is Serkan from Netsia. Hi. So these two MAC learning and VLAN translation use cases are also applicable to the Türk Telekom, and also in Netsia we have implemented a kind of MAC learning implementation based on the DHCP discovery things. I think we have the similar implementation. What we have is working on VOLTHA 1.6 right now, and the VLAN also for the S and C VLAN translation. We have also a couple of changes, which also on also the OpenOIRT agent side. I think we come together and find a way if we can merge all of these new things into the VOLTHA 2.0. Maybe we can sit and talk about the design.
Absolutely, good to know that, and definitely we should align our work on that, and avoid any double work. If it is really the same functionality we are looking for, then we should merge our forces and create a solution for the VOLTHA 2.x. That's definitely what we are looking for, and then of course we can merge our efforts to come to a common solution for everyone. Would be great.
Does your changes are on VOLTHA 2.0 or 1.x?
Our changes will be on 2.x. We don't have it yet, of course, because as I mentioned, we are in the process where we finalized our architectural discussions on that. But we have to start to do work on that. But all what we do, that's more or less a general statement from DT side. All what we are doing in terms of new features, we are doing on the 2.x platform.
I see.
Serkan, do you guys on the Netsia or Agela, do you have something you can demo?
We are almost there actually. We have a running multicast and SVLAN IPTV right now, and our team is working on deploying it to Türk Telekom, integrating with their MPLS network. So I think we're very close, but let me talk to Mesut this week and learn if we can make a demo.
Okay, or is this something that Türk Telekom is going to demo at doing a ONF Connect?
As far as I know, we don't demo it in ONF Connect. Maybe we can bring a video from the Türk Telekom deployment show it in our one-off speed.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you check with Masood, and then if that's something, you know, for the next couple of weeks, if the demo for this community, especially to you know, Deutsche Telekom, if something you know you can show, and then you know, I think joining workforce is a good way to go.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks as well. Any further questions?
What, Mike Geiser? Are you on? Is that something? I think AT&T model for the DHCP management is a little bit. I mean, DPU management is a little bit different, right?
I think we will have to. I mean, we haven't gone there yet. But yeah, I mean, we will need mechanisms somewhat similar to this, so that we can possibly share a VLAN for the management of the DPUs beneath the OLT. I don't know that we will use the same VLAN as the OLT, but this mechanism would probably be useful in subtending DPUs from an OLT. So I think this is good stuff.
Bjorn, one question is that will there be an additional new ONOS app created to support this, or existing ONOS app can function for this one?
I think we have an additional ONOS app in mind so far. But yeah, we call it DPU Control Traffic Manager app, but that's just a working title. So of course it can be changed. But yeah, a new one. That's what we have in mind.
And then the Telecom, do you guys create a separate app for this? Serkan?
Sorry, I couldn't follow the.
Sean, this is my idea. It's a separate application implemented on ONOS.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Bjorn, when I look at your wiki page, I said, wouldn't it be that nice? We can, upload those to the VOLTHA wiki too.
yeah, of course. That will be that's our internal, of course, but that will be part. So I have to rework a little bit, but that will be part of our workflow contribution, of course. So
yeah,
so you will find that picture as well in the public domain.
Right,
and probably so, most of the text.
And when is the workflow contribution coming?
In the next few weeks. we have the internal ready, so I just have to do. It's not just editorial work, but I have to move it to the other format, probably with some more descriptive text, but it's just a few. So we are very, very close to that.
Because the reason now I'm asking is because this is a new feature and we should have a design discussion. I'm sorry I joined the call a little late. I can go back and watch the video, but very likely I'm going to have questions, and because I won't have everything answered from watching the recording, and so maybe those questions can simply be answered if I could follow what's going on the wiki. But without the workflow contribution, there's likely going to be gaps.
Yeah, of course. And,
you'll have someone working on this design where the design or the implementation, and we won't be aware if the it would happen without a design discussion.
Yeah, no. So far, if I'm talking about design, then it means in general architecture design or architecture of the system. So we don't spend so much effort or no effort up to now in the real software components design. So therefore, we are open for all the discussions, and we are open to find similarities with other operators to join workforces, and of course I'm open to answer your questions, Saurabh, any time. Feel free to send an email or give me a call, whatever. And the idea is to have the workflow ready before the ONF Connect, so that we can also have some talks during that time, directly face to face.
Okay, thanks. Have we settled on a date for when we want to meet physically?
No, not yet directly, but I think we can talk about that
today.
After we finish that part of the agenda. Then it was more or less, maybe it was not written on the agenda directly, but yeah, it's definitely a point where I would like to talk today in that meeting here as well.
Any other questions for Bjorn on the discussion today?
I have a request. Hey Bjorn, Scott Baker has a document regarding to the PM management regarding to the wall clock counter. Can you take that proposal and back into Deutsche Telekom, see whether Deutsche Telekom support the proposal?
Yeah, I saw it already, and we started already an internal discussion about that. And as far as we are at a point where we can publish anything or a current position from DT, we will do it.
Okay.
And we'll let you know our feedback.
Okay, great. Thanks. And that goes to the Turk Telecom also. So
let me just circle back. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Michael.
Which one did you say, Sean? Which proposal?
The performance monitoring counters.
Okay.
That's FCAS Brigade. I think Scott Baker has been hosting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay then.
Okay, Judy, back to you.
Yeah, I'll circle back to the current discussion on see if there are any other questions for Bjorn before we switch topics. Any other questions on the Mac Learning VLAN translation discussion we had today? Okay, then I think we can move on to the next topic, which Sarah alluded to, and Bjorn as well. Wasn't on the agenda that was sent out last night, but some discussion about a meeting time for folks who would like to meet while they are local for ONF Connect. So there was some discussion on VOLTHA Discuss, so we can go ahead and bring that up here. And Bjorn, do you want me to go ahead and take presentation rights back, or?
No, I don't need presentation rights for that. I don't have something to present. I just can talk a little bit about the feedback. In general, I believe it's visible for everyone. So what my impression is that it's pretty hard to find a slot which is convenient for everyone. So I saw some feedback regarding Monday would be good. Then I saw, especially from David, feedback that the week of ONF Connect is not that good, but in the week after, Monday, Tuesday, is fine for them or for him.
It's
so
just
that's
that Monday of that week that's a problem for me. I could do it Friday of that week as well, as I saw some other people interested in that.
Yeah, I saw also some feedback regarding Friday. So for me, everything is fine. What was proposed. But regarding Friday, I'm not sure if there's. I don't know exactly when the conference will finalize or finish. So I'm not sure if Friday is there's really enough time. But of course we can use a little bit time on Friday afternoon. Of course, that's absolutely possible. David, I think we can also use Monday and or Tuesday, and if there are not so many others to be able to join, then we can at least talk about stabilization things. assuming that that Saurabh probably can join, and from our side also Kirill, or from Reply side also Kirill should be available, so we can use the Monday or Tuesday for some face-to-face talks regarding the stabilization work, and we can use the Monday. Maybe we should arrange something for Monday to talk about VOLTHA generic things, and then we can finalize that on Friday after the conference. Yeah, to see first we have to see how much time is available after that. But that are the available options, and the conclusion from the VOLTHA Discuss email discussion was that there's no convenient time slot for everyone. So that's more or less the conclusion. And now I think we have to find what makes sense at which point in time to discuss.
I created this. I created this. The Google Note or Google Form, and I'm intended to send it. I think there will be separate operator group meeting. So I think so potential. I think we should maybe we can send out this form and then to the VOLTHA with specific for the VOLTHA audience, right? So on the VOLTHA site, and then maybe people can indicate reply with the form. We will list a few of the options. I don't have the Monday afternoon listed here. So one other thing is all the session starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I'm wondering whether on site the site will be available from 7 to 9. So Bjorn, how much time do you think will be needed? Is that 2 hours enough, or you want to have a whole afternoon, something like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. It depends a little bit on the topic. So if you want to discuss about the workflow, then I think 2 hours could be quite less. If we just want to talk about some generic things, 2 hours are also good. So from my perspective, yeah, if we want to use some 2 hour slices or some 2 hour time slots, then maybe we have to address it to a particular topic. Could be more useful from my perspective. And therefore, it would be good to know what are the topics of a particular interest in the group.
Right. So I'll add the topic suggestion here. Saurabh, do you have any comment on this one?
Maybe.
So
may I interrupt you, because that comes to my head. So if we name the topic as FCAPs, so then probably 2 hours are less. But if we go deeper and name it, go directly as a topic for these counters or for these wall clock topic, then maybe a 2 hour slot to discuss that particular topic could be enough. So, but Saurabh, go ahead.
So Sean, you've only listed times and dates on the week of ONF Connect, right?
Right.
And you've excluded Monday.
I need to add it back. Yes.
No, I'm just curious. You excluded it because you're assuming people are traveling on that Monday, or?
No, because it's neglect.
Okay. So the deal with Tuesday is that no ONF. Yeah, there's ONF tutorial. We'll be preparing. We'll be preparing for the demos, and it's unlikely that anybody from ONF will be available on that Tuesday. It doesn't mean that you can't meet at ONF. It just means that will likely not be there.
Right.
On the other hand, on Monday, we'll all be there, and we can meet at ONF. On-site meetings, I'm not very sure. what will be the availability. I can ask, but you know, we pay for these things, so it's really up to the you know, the location people to allow these times, so I could find out if that 7 to 9 slot is really open on any of the.
Yeah, send out an email to Joe also.
Okay,
yeah,
you sent it to Joe. The right people to ask are probably Sadef, but
okay.
But that's okay. You know, Joe will just forward it to Sadef. Friday evening, again, same. I don't see that listed, but I've heard it. Friday evening, the deal is the same. I don't know if any of the rooms are going to be open. Depends on the timing. If you want to do it at ONF on Friday evening, that's actually probably even harder, because it might just take you a couple of hours to get from the site to back to Menlo Park during rush hour. Yeah, so I'm not so sure about that either. Of course, the following week, Monday, works. Just I don't know how many people are going to stay over the weekend for those who come from out of town. So anyway, that's all I really had to say. My action item is to find out if any of the on-site timings work or not.
Right. And then potentially, I wonder whether Tuesday they have additional rooms in additional to tutorial. Maybe the additional room is available or not. So I'll send an email to Sadef.
You mean on-site?
Yeah.
During the tutorials?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also worth asking, but yeah, I don't know.
How do I move this up? Okay. Anyway, so I'll send this out. I'll refine this and send this out, because it will ask you when will you arrive and then something like that. So at least we can get some sense. Okay, Julie, back to you. You can take the presentation back. Or Bjorn, do you have a additional question?
No, I don't have additional things to mention here or to ask. So yeah, send it out, and then I hope we get a better picture what makes sense at which point in time.
Okay.
Okay, so Sean, you'll be sending out that form to VOLTHA Discuss so that we can collect feedback. And then last topic we have today is for Sprint 5 status updates. Just a reminder that the sprint is targeted to complete on this Friday, end of day. And going on to this, then, do we have any specific JIRAs that need to be discussed with the group? Anything that needs attention in Garrett? Okay, so I know that we do have a number of items in progress, and a lot of work is kind of hinging on what happens with the stabilization brigade and merges ongoing there. So I don't know if it's beneficial to this group to go through the status one at a time. David, are you still on the bridge? Do you have any views there? I'm kind of looking at some of these status items as on hold pending merges that come in through the stabilization brigade.
I am on the line. I guess what's the question?
In terms of the Sprint 5 status, I was trying to figure out if it makes sense to look at any individual items with the group. My thought is that a lot of the in-progress work, the status is pending decisions and merges that come in through the stabilization brigade. So I don't know if there is any value add to look at specific items with this group.
I don't know of any value add. Again,
yeah, that was my take
this
as well.
Work in progress. It's either going to be merged or not. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
So,
I mean, like
yeah.
the Valve stuff, the Valve 3.0 stuff is going to not be relevant to the stabilization brigade because it's coming after the branch.
That's true, and that's through a separate brigade as well. Okay, so I think since I didn't hear any requests for specific items to be reviewed, The brigades are proceeding, and we'll see what gets closed out by the end of the week. And then let me go back to our agenda then. So we have a couple topics coming up for this Thursday. So on Thursday, we do have the discussion on multiple TCONs. So a pointer again to everyone that the proposal from Girish was provided on VOLTHA Discuss. There's a link to that thread in the email that was sent out earlier with the agenda. And then a pending resolution of some lab-related issues, some connectivity. We're going to have that redfish importer demo on Thursday as well. So this is tentatively still scheduled in. It's depending on the resolution of some connectivity issues that they've been having. So if that gets sorted out, then we'll have that demo as well. Okay, and then we have a few items in the backlog for future discussions as well. But Thursday, if we have any remaining time, we do need to do some planning for Sprint 6. And then Sprint 6 will kick off next Monday. Okay, any other specific topics from the group that need to be discussed today?
Thanks.
Okay, I'm not hearing anything. I'll go ahead and give you a few minutes back. I'll stop the recording. Thanks, everyone.